Ken's got one for us.
Welcome to the SFL. I'm Cameron Irvine, lead play-by-play man and commissioner of the First Football Esport League, and this extensive guide will help you find everything you need to get the full SFL experience, or the experience you want. The first step to learning more about the league is on SFL Interactive, the multimedia hub of our website. Head to simulationfl.net and click on the Interactive tab in the menu. Once you're there, create your profile and receive your first 10 points. They'll show up in the upper right-hand corner. Points can be used to pay for anything from player progression to photo galleries and so much more coming soon. On SFL Interactive, you can watch exclusive league content like behind-the-scenes footage and videos, amazing plays, and classic games. You can also watch live games every Sunday night and participate in live lotteries, which can net you more free points. Back on Discord, introduce yourself in the Introductions channel to receive permissions. Tell us how you found us, who you are, and what you're interested in. From here, you can message team owners and general managers and inquire about joining the live stats, beat writing, multimedia, or broadcast teams and hunt for your future home on the field. There are two ways to get on a team, either as an undrafted free agent or through the rookie draft. If you join in the months of April, May, October, or November, you qualify for the rookie draft right away, since rosters are locked during these months while the league wraps up seasonal competition and teams are re-signing or signing veteran players. If you join in any other month, becoming an undrafted free agent is your most likely route. Either option can net you success. If you're going into the rookie draft, a little bit of everything can go a long way in a competitive field. Make an impression by purchasing or gaining your points for player progression in advance. Earn a high chat ranking and show your desire and professionalism in the community chat rooms and in private messages with teams. Join a league staff, team, or contribute to the league's general fund. Drafts are held at the beginning of every June and December. If you're going to get scooped up as an undrafted free agent, your chat ranking determines what type of opportunities you could have. To find out if there are any recent openings on teams, check the player openings section of Discord. If all rosters are full, don't be discouraged. Opportunities come up all the time, and it may just be the perfect fit to start your career. Every offseason, you're able to start completely from scratch if you want, or you can negotiate a new deal with your current team or a different squad. Games are broadcast Sundays through Tuesdays on our SFL networks on Twitch, YouTube, and Fuel. While you're subscribing to those feeds, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and give us some love on Instagram. If you need or want to talk to league staff, we're always listed in gold at the top right of the member list in Discord when we're online, and we'll always try to assist you or make time for you as best we can. That's the Simulation Football League, and that's just the start. Thanks for being here to make an impact. I can't wait to call your name.
And returning it back the other way is Jack Burton, and Carolina has a touchdown on a pick six.
Spins out of a sack, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown.
So they're like, oh, well, we need real players. Like, oh, okay. So you need a quarterback? Sure.
He's up to the 30. He's gone, baby. My goodness. Somebody cool off that man's feet because they're on fire.
He will throw. King wants it all now, and it's caught! Oh! Touchdown, Chicago!
Unbelievable play! That's got to be number one this week, and we just got started.
People like immersing themselves and all the buildup that goes in with that.
This is going to explode big time.
The SFL Network on Twitch welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
you are looking live. A sold out Queensway in London, England for this Simulation Football League matchup between the Queen City Corsairs and the London Knights. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colin Northrop along with Rick Northrop on color.
Good evening.
Charles Dargady is manning the stats in the truck as these two teams, with Queen City with a 3-1 lead in the all-time series for the Lord Admiral Nelson Cup, square off to open up season 13 from jolly old England. Corsairs visitors call the toss of the coin in the air. It is tails. London elects to receive the ball, and we'll see Rob Roby and the rest of his squad on offense first. Kickoff is coming up shortly. Ricky Matthews has the ball teed up for Queen City. We're ready for a good old-fashioned football match here in England. Kick it, we're underway. The return fielded by Arthur, coming out to the London 34. So we're gonna first look at Rob Roby, his second season in London. His running back is number 34, Reggie Streeter. The wide receivers are the Hands brothers. Donnie Hands, number 11. James Hands, number 12. The tight end is Trevor Farrell, an off-season acquisition from Indianapolis. Roby's changing the play. He goes back to throw. Get out to Reggie Streeter.
That's a way to get it started, right there, Colin.
For a first down, for a gain of 7 on first down. And now for the Queen City defense. Defensive end number 53, Jeff Duffy. They have a rookie defensive end, number 90 in Kyrie Hansen. Linebacker number 44 is Avery King. The corners are Tanner Hendricks and Farrell Rains. And the safeties are Achilles Frank and Nacho Sicaria. As the toss for Streeter goes out. He runs to the 50-yard line for a first down. We have a 1st and 10.
Second and 10 from the American 30-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10. Full house backfield for London as they swing it out to Streeter, and Streeter will get racked up after a 4-yard pickup to the Queen City 26. We have a 3rd and 6 from the Corsair 26-yard line. And the throw down the field is knocked away.
Excellent job as the DB sinks back into the pattern there, Colin, and just gets a hand on it.
And it'll be a 4th and 6 and a field goal attempt coming up for Jose Noe. Trying to put London up 3-0 here in the first quarter. Snap, spot, kick is on the way, and it is good from 42 yards. So the field goal is good as the Knights move efficiently down the field, mostly through the air. Sorry about that. As the kickoff goes away and fielded up the middle and returned to the 27-yard line. That's where the Corsairs will begin. Plotting a course of their offense, and we'll see the veteran A.J. Caswell. He's got a new running back in the backfield, Jared Willis, coming over in the offseason from the Chicago Wildcats. And the swing out to the fullback is complete for a 6-yard pickup to the 33. So let's set that London defense for you. Defensive tackle number 59, William Davidson. The team's rookie draft pick is the outside linebacker number 48, DeAndre Washington. The inside linebackers number 99, Slyn Shady. The corners are Evan Arthur and Dean Maddox, as well as strong safety Jeff Malichin and free safety Nathan Blake. The reception on that play from Caswell was intended for Jake Matthew Jr., the undrafted rookie free agent, but Washington made a better defense on that play, 2nd and 10. The wide receivers for Queen City are number 84, Chris Curtis, and number 88, Steven Hacker. And there's our lineup for you, as the give is to Willis, and Jared Willis
Gets the first down and then is frozen in time.
Oh.
It'll catch up.
That was Willis through the middle of the hole and picked up the first down. Nathan Blake was in on the tackle. It'll be a first down to the Queen City 40. We have a standard pro set backfield, one receiver to either side. It's Caswell will operate as he goes back to pass. And that was kind of a wonky play as Matthews Jr. loses 2 yards. Evan Arthur, Dean Maddox, number 23 on the tackle. His second 12 from Queen City from the 38. Looking down 3-0, looking to respond to London early as the throw goes out to Willis, who they said was out of bounds. That'll be 3rd and 12. So, Rick, what are your impressions of the game?
Well, it's interesting as they, still go through a little bit feeling out process, and you don't know how much the travel may or may not affect these teams here in the early going. from the East Coast, it's only about a 5.5 hour flight, which is similar to going across country. But
As we got an offsides, a free play is down the middle, complete. Is Caswell to the ever-explosive Stephen Hacker.
But you're really dependent on every man doing their job in terms of working through the jet lag and so forth, and that can be spotty. People have different skill levels with that.
As the man called for the penalty was number 93, Jamie McDonald. The penalty will obviously be declined as the man they call the computer picks up the first down.
A real thread the needle job there, too, delivering that ball, Colin.
Here's a look at Caswell. He's been around for 6 years, one of the more proficient running quarterbacks in the league today. He's got 3 wide receivers. Willis lined up in the backfield. He's back to throw again. Sets, fires to Curtis, and Curtis is out of bounds for a pickup of 3. Curtis, that was his first catch. Hacker, that last grab went for 25. Charles Doherty keeping track of the numbers for us tonight. As Queen City will operate out of the shotgun. With a 2nd and 7 attempt, they go to throw one more time, and Caswell launches the pass. It's complete. Down to the 11-yard line is Hacker.
You know what that is, Colin? That is a prime example of what happens if you give Caswell time. He is a pro's pro, and watch him deliver this thing
on the post
right
corner
there.
cut,
Yeah, just
right in front of Evan Arthur.
Almost throws it right over his helmet.
We have a first down from the 11-yard line. There's a look at Shady, better linebackers in the SFL. London showing blitz from the right-hand side. Queen City goes the opposite way with Willis, and he will not pick up anything as McDonald atones for his earlier mistake with a nice run-stopping tackle.
Yeah, everybody was sort of on an island there on the right side of the London formation, and they get the job done.
Exactly. Here's to get the Willis up the middle. He sprints forward for 6 yards down to the 5, setting up a 3rd and 4. Willis so far only 13 yards on 3 carries. The man they called E-back will flare out as a pass receiver. Caswell goes to the end zone. Oh, that's nearly intercepted by Washington. But Nathan Blake had his hand on it first, and that forces a Queen City field goal attempt here on 4th and 4.
Well, London's breathing a sigh of relief as they allow Queen City to march right down onto the doorstep and then hold on 3rd down.
Hold indeed. This will be spotted just past 10. Snap was wonky, but the hold was wonky, but the kick is good from 22. And we're all tied at 3.
Might have been one of your more nail-biting pedestrian 20-yard field goals right there, Colin.
Don't forget to like the Simulation Football League on Facebook at Facebook/SimulationFL.
Bam. That's a short kick.
The return. That was Dean Maddox. Apologized earlier. He was also on the return, but misidentified as Evan Arthur. So for London, they passed the ball really well last time. They're bogged down and forced to settle for 3. Here's a 3-man backfield with the second tight end Charlie Bulmer lined up next to the fullback, and Roby will swing this out once again to Streeter, and Streeter breaks the
nice.
tackle. He's his own blocker as he picks up the first down to the London 46.
Man, that had all the looks of an SFL swing out special going for a yard. And look at that. A couple of jukes and just a bull rush upfield.
That's his third catch for 20 yards. And Streeter is now, or Roby is now 5 of 7 for 50 yards with that last throw. Donniehan's lined up tight to the line of scrimmage. Trevor Farrell, we have yet to see catch a pass. He's a converted wide receiver. Here's the first carry today for Reggie Streeter, and he picks up 3 yards.
The delayed draw, trying to just throw a little hitch in the giddy up there of Queen City on the D. But it does earn them 3 yards.
It's 2nd and 7 here. They line up with another 3-man backfield.
We'll throw downfield out of this one.
They will hand off to Streeter, and Streeter follows his blockers beautifully and makes it a 3rd and 1 situation as he gets wrapped up at the 46.
Streeter's got this mojo going. The mojo working here in the early going, Colin. 2 impressive totes of the rock there. One catch out of the backfield and another one right up the gut.
Here's a 3rd and 1 situation. James Hands split out to the top of your picture.
Same formation, Colin. 3 plays in a row.
There's the power play off to the left. Streeter spinning through tackles. There goes Reggie Streeter. 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Knights! As he plants the sword in the end zone.
Wow. There's a disturbance at King Arthur's grave.
His Excalibur is replanted in the end zone. Our first trip overseas. So far, turning out to be an entertaining one.
Absolutely.
First trip overseas in a while, that is. We have been to Queensway before. Is the extra point by No Way. Trying to make this a 7-point game, and he does. So with 3:33 left, Knights up over the Corsairs by the score of 10-3. As the kickoff is away and fielded by number 11 for the Corsairs, Sanchez breaks up, and Sanchez to the Queen City 47. Oh, he almost broke away.
You almost returned the favor there, Colin.
As we get another look at this, Rick, it's kind of on the shorter side. The multi-man blocking wedge sets up beautifully, and he just cuts off of that and almost busted it open.
Sure did. It's got to put a little gulp in the throat as he starts rambling downfield.
As the Corsairs look.
The Knights crowd the line, too.
They're looking to blitz. No, they back out. And the throw down the field is knocked away by a Dean Maddox pass intended for Chris Curtis.
Holy smoke. They look like they were going to sell out on the blitz there, Colin. And then they sink back. There's a lot of technical football happening on that play right there as they try and throw a little deke at them. They get Queen City to bite, and the Queen City still almost makes the play, if not for a spectacular defensive stab.
Bunched down to the bottom as Caswell takes a medium drop back, fires down the field, almost intercepted by Maddox.
Oh, man.
Pass intended for Villanueva. Knocked away once again. There's Jeff Malinish, and he was also in the neighborhood. With 3rd and 10 from the Queen City 47-yard line. 2 men in the backfield. Action fake to Willis. Down the middle of the field. Knocked away by Slim Shady.
It's about 3 picks that the Knights could have had so far. Caswell's playing with fire. Threw it into triple coverage.
Sooner or later, it's going to burn you, but it didn't burn him that time, luckily for Queen City.
Taking their sweet time to snap that ball.
As the return by Maddox
Is goes for naught. That's British for nothing.
correction on Arthur, the other cornerback. It's actually a long E, so it's E Van Arthur.
E Van Arthur, huh?
I was just told that by the PR guy for the Knights as Streeter moves ahead for 3 yards. He had a 45-yard touchdown run, and that makes up the bulk of his 56 yards.
That was the least exciting Streeter play so far right there. Your average dive into the line for a couple. Gonna get you a couple. Got 2:40 to go here in the first in London.
Knights in front, 10-3. Rob Roby in an empty set in the backfield. And he's back to throw. Fires over the middle. It's dropped by Trevor Farrell. That was his second target. And the big guy dropped the pass.
Well, let's see that. Did he drop? Was it dropped so much as it actually hit the Queen City defender at the same time?
You know, I get that this is your first time playing tight end after playing wide receiver the previous 3 years you were in the league.
Yes.
But you got to catch that ball.
Like
3rd and 7.
Might have been poorly.
Is sacked immediately as number 71 for the Corsairs. Tommy Smith got a free rush as nobody laid a fingertip on him.
Wow. Kind of hard to complete a pass with a defensive lineman in your face.
And Phil Hunter is standing at his 1 yard line, waiting the return. And it's nearly blocked, but he gets a good one away. Returning this one is Sanchez to the Knight 48-yard line. So the Corsairs, nice opportunity to strike back.
Decent punt. Unfortunately, the punter was standing on his own goal line, Colin. So Queen City is in business here in the closing 2 minutes of the first quarter.
As Willis got the carry, but he was stopped. He only has 14 yards so far. And a handful of totes Washington able to bring him down.
And as these two teams scrum here at midfield, you might notice the lion, which is also the symbol of, not only the symbol of the team, but 3 lions are the symbol of Britain. First introduced by King, guess who? Richard. Hello. You're welcome.
Empty backfield.
Oh,
he got placed and he goes all the way down to the 11. Holy cow, we're just getting started here in the first quarter and we're already seeing fireworks.
He tells me he doesn't care about no stupid lions. We're going down the field. Watch this.
Just burn Arthur.
Check his
And
hands for stickum.
It's a better stick than Odell Beckham Jr.
That guy's a fraud.
1st and 10 from the London 11-yard line. Hacker lined up in a bunch. One man isolated to the bottom. I believe that's Matthews. He gets the ball this time, and Matthews Jr. will rumble down to the 6-yard line to make it a 2nd and 5. Good catch for the young fella.
London being very careful with him. I've got 2 defenders out there, as he can very easily break a tackle. single defender tackle.
With that last catch, Hacker is now up to 84 yards on 4 receptions.
Is that right?
That is correct. And the throw out to Willis. And Jared Willis almost got the first down, but he's knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line, setting up a third and about a foot.
Third and less than a yard. The Knights trying to force another field goal attempt here.
Here, 3rd and 1 situation.
Prime power.
Prime opportunity for Willis, I would think.
Went over the double tight ends. No,
they're gonna throw it in the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown.
Nice play design. Hats off to the Corsairs on that puppy.
That's James Matthew Jr.'s first SFL touchdown reception, and somebody grab a hold of that ball and give it to that young man to hang up on his mantle.
He just gets lost in the wash as he comes off the line and makes a quick cut inside. Well, that quiets down the hometown crowd a little bit, Colin.
Pending the extra point, we're going to have a 10-10 tie with 1 second left.
1s and 0s.
And it is good, so we now have a 10-10 ball game.
Right.
That dry summary was 5 plays, 48 yards, and that was a 2-yard touchdown pass from Caswell to Matthew Jr. And a kick is away by Matthews, and the return by the Knights. Oh. This is Arthur, and Arthur goes up to 35. That's the end of the first quarter, and we're all knotted up at 10 apiece between London and Queen City. The Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch TV is presented by APM Music, Custom Music Library, and Custom Music House. Brought to you in part by Fuel, Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL, and MediaTek Institute. Turn your passion into profession. Aerial shots are brought to you by Airbuzz, united by drone. Visit Airbuzz to see more drone footage. London's a city you're certainly familiar with, Rick, and some of those aerial shots were just gorgeous, weren't they?
London is a very great city, very fun to visit. I highly recommend it.
Here is Roby handing off to Reggie Streeter. Streeter spinning for the whole man trying to make a juke, and he picks up 7 yards in the most adventurous way possible.
A little bit of a desperation, oh my gosh, tackle as he suddenly appears deep in the backfield.
Streeter now up to 65 yards and just 5 carries of the ball. And 1 touchdown, he's in the backfield with the fullback in front of him. He gets it again. He follows his fullback's lead and picks up the first down with ease as it takes 2 Corsair defenders to bring him down.
A little bit of sort of a modified Packer sweep there, Colin, as they start inside and just kind of migrate everybody to the outside towards the sideline. Just follows his blockers. A little demoralizing.
Here's Roby in an empty backfield. He's all by himself. Now he's changing the play. Hopefully his line blocks, because remember, he got sacked by a free runner last time they were in this formation. This time he doesn't get sacked, and it's completed to James Hands. And Hands is brought down at the Corsair 45, setting up a 2nd and 3.
Hands makes a nice move on his own there, Colin, to gain a few extra yards.
By the way, how tall were the Hands' parents? Because both of these brothers are 6'6".
Ooh. They're drinking their milk, getting their sleep.
They must have Dutch jeans in them somewhere.
Jeans.
As the handoff goes to Streeter, spins off a tackle, and they'll say he gained enough for the first down.
Dutch aren't the only sort of tall people in the world, but absolutely. Since we're in Europe, we'll shout out for the orange.
Here is Hands. There he is, number 12, his third season in London. 3-man backfield for the Knights. And here's to get to Streeter. Streeter running over a defender, trying to spin into another one and pick up 7 yards in the presses.
Another one of those desperation tackles by the Corsairs, Colin. You know, they kind of like to jump up on them and try and wrap them around the head and shoulders just to stop him or try and not lose him and hope for some help.
Here's Hands, lines up to the bottom. The fullback is in front. That is Fuller Backus.
Fuller Backus?
Backus in front of Streeter. And Streeter, this time he didn't follow his blockers all that well as it was blown up.
And the DB peels off of his assignment from the wide sideline formation and comes in and makes a play right at the line of scrimmage. Good play, Queen City. There's number 20 back on his assignment.
Tanner Hendricks, who comes over after time spent in Indianapolis in Tallahassee. Streeter, meanwhile, picks up this 3rd and 2 and gets to the Corsair 30-yard line. You know, it's interesting. They got 9 first downs so far, according to our latest stat calculations.
Thank you, Charles.
As Roby drops back to throw, sets, fires. Oh! Did.
An excellent play by the DB just to put himself into the throwing lane.
That is Gibson, number 26, Morris Gibson, the 3rd cornerback.
Takes the ball in the back for his troubles, but that breaks up the play. You know, it was a high snap, and that had to be the 3rd or 4th option.
Here's a look at Trevor Farrell. And Streeter's in the backfield. Roby this time will throw it out to Streeter, and Streeter has all kinds of running room and picks up a first down to the 20.
You kids watching tonight will notice as soon as he received the ball, he turned immediately upfield.
Tanner Hendricks with the tackle. First down for the Knights at the Corsair 20-yard line, and so far, Rick, this has all the trappings of a potential track meet going, as that was Streeter's 5th catch for 43 yards.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. So far, the second quarter's been all London.
Here's the give to, I believe, the backup running back. No, that's Streeter. Check that.
Check that. Check.
That was the 3-yard pickup by a man who was a fairly high draft choice, top 5 pick by London a year ago.
You can see why.
It was 2nd and 7 from the 17. Here's the tote once again to Streeter, and Streeter is met beautifully in the hole, this time by number 22, Achilles Frank. Guy's always uses his spot with his lime green sleeves. We had 3rd down and 4 situation. They converted a 3rd and 2 earlier. Ball's on a Corsair 13. Roby drops back to throw. End zone, knocked away. Nacho Sicario says, no soup for you.
Well done. Well done, and they forced a field goal. So I don't know if it's going to be a track meet so much as a tight game back and forth.
Out of the hold of Dante DePass from the 20-yard line. As no ace kick. Splits the sticks right down the middle. And we have a 13-10 ball game with 5:54 left in the first half of play.
Well, London still keeping pressure on Queen City. It's their turn to see what they can do with it. I suppose if it's a mix of field goals and the occasional touchdown, it's never really out of reach of either team, Colin.
Don't forget to follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL and use the hashtag #MakeAnImpact and spread the word. As the return by Sanchez, he had a pretty good one earlier. This one is not nearly as long, but it's still good out to the 31-yard. London's got a 3-point lead to protect. They elected to receive the ball, so they really don't want the Corsairs to do the eventual double dip.
They'd like to stop them and get the ball back here quickly.
As Castle in the middle of that one was nearly intercepted. First tipped up in the air by Lynn Shady. Pass intended for Matthew Jr.
There's another potential INT opportunity, Colin, for London. Let's hope they don't come to regret these missed opportunities.
Looks like the lads will have to work on the jugs machine in practice next week.
Indeed.
It's 2nd and 10. Standard pro set backfield, one receiver to either side. London showing blitz. Here's the rush throw over the middle, complete to Matthews. That's good for 3. Set up 37. NJ Caswell now at 105 at the touchdown. Rob Roby at 69 yards pass. The Corsairs are 2 for 5 on third down so far. As Caswell drops back to throw, fires this one in and
He caught it and then dropped it out of bounds. That's going to be an incomplete.
That is dropped by number 24, Jared Willis, who was split out wide. And I think that would have been enough for the first down if the E-back had received the ball cleanly.
Beautifully thrown ball. Couldn't gather it in. Very disappointing.
Matthews on for the punt. So the Knights get the stop that they were looking for. The kick is away and returned up to the 33-yard line. And goes Dean Maddox. Yeah, Rob Roby's played a nice, efficient game. Reggie Streeter has done a lot of the lifting in terms of running the ball. Strange only his top 2 targets have a combined 2 catches for 27 yards between the two of them. As Roby takes the 7-step drop, fires down the middle field, and it's complete to James Hands for another huge chunk play down the field.
A little bingo right there. We got to break out of this little slow progression if we can.
They go deep with the post shot on the first play on the drive, and the tackle was made by Achilles Frank, as well as number as well as number 25 Farrell Rains, the other corner. All of Queen City's defensive backs are over the 6-foot variety. As they go off the Streeter again, and with his carry, breaks the tackle, quadruple spin.
Moves. I've never seen such a thing. let's watch it again.
Crazy.
Here we go. We can count them all together. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. We got to get the count from Sesame Street in here.
And with that carry, I believe Streeter is over 100 yards. As the throw goes out to Stewart out of the backfield. He spins again and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, London. Wow.
6 spin moves on 2 plays. Five on 1.
Holy crap. I've never seen anything like that. He broke the tackle.
That was actually 2 spin moves
Nacho
in there.
Sicario did an extra spin move. And the Brown Knight goes, Reggie is a monster. Holy crap. I tend to agree when he does
he's
back-to-back plays like that.
He's having a heck of a game. No doubt about it.
And the extra point is up and through. So London carries a 2-score lead with 4 minutes to go. As Stephen Hacker in the chat goes, Streeter trying to reverse the Earth's rotation.
Yeah, I like the music reference. He spins me right round. Reggie spun you right round, baby, right round. And here's a kick that's fairly deep for tonight's game, Colin.
And fielded by Sanchez, and they'll only get to the 25 as the coverage is better. It's gotten better as the game progresses, and if you're not Queen City, you got a little bit of urgency going on.
Yeah, maybe. You only got just under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. You're down by 10. Clearly, you'd like to narrow that before the half.
And Caswell staring at Shady creeping up. He'll back out. Throw out to Willis, who makes the catch, and Jared Willis will get out of bounds after 7. Yards on the play. We have a 2nd and 3 from the Queen City 32. Caswell with a 95.8 quarterback rating, 105 yards and 1 touchdown. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Here's to get to Willis on the trap, and it's blown up in the backfield. It's blown up by number 92, Malcolm Reynolds, who simply disregarded the pulling guard coming around and whacked him in the backfield. We have 3rd and 6 from the Corsair 29-yard line. Crowd picks up a chain of defense as we have trips to the bottom. Caswell under center. He takes a quick drop. Over the middle he goes to Matthew Jr., and it's good enough for a first down.
Just a quick dump over the line of scrimmage to pick up the first down.
Just
one of my favorite things. Focus on moving the sticks.
Just a favorite, just a little slant cut. You see that a lot in all levels of football, really.
There's a really good mind game going on between London and Queen City. London's D, look how they like to crowd the line, and they've been showing that quite a bit. Will they back out, though?
They will back out again, and the throw to Matthews is knocked away, incomplete. Lynn Shady again. Another pass deflection for the linebacker. As Mike Daggs goes. Hashtag throw to the tight end.
You mean says or noted.
And he continues on that same vein. So he writes throw it higher to the tight end. And the 2nd and 10 years to get the Willis on the trap. It's blocked better this time, and up the middle he goes. Setting up a 3rd and 2. He's got 27 yards and 7 carries. So this fellow's placing Ash Odom, in essence, Chicago and Queen City de facto traded running backs. He tried to do a Streeter in the hole, but decided I'm just going to power ahead. We have 3rd and 2 situation. 2-minute warning coming up. Corsairs down by 10. Here's to give up the middle to Willis, and he will not get there.
Yeah, that time London crowded the line and did not back out. They were
racked up by Slynn and Washington. 2-minute warning here from Queensway. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by AP Music on Twitch TV.
I've got a 10-point differential, and this is the last thing Queen City wanted to do here near the end of the second quarter, right before the half, is punt this ball away.
Indeed. And
a good one. No return, really.
Return up to 21, so London has a minute 52 to work with, and a full complement of timeouts. Let's see how they play it.
Yeah, the Queen called and said, "You're supposed to say with which to work."
Oh, yes, that's right.
Right, don't dangle your precipitals. It's not polite.
Now they go split shotgun with 3 wide receivers. And Roby back to throw. By number 57, Jacoby.
I know what he was looking at. There was at least 2 guys that were either open or were going to be open deep, and he took his eye off the rush for a moment, and it cost him.
Reggie Streeter, 6 catches for 60 yards. He's part of the 3-man backfield.
Queen City brings a strong rush. Let's see what happens here.
And here to give on the up the middle to Streeter, and Streeter powers forward for 6. So it looks like they're
another first down or 2, and then maybe they'll see what they can do.
As Vancouver Legion posts in the chat, forget what your dad says, Colin. Let it dangle. We don't mind.
Trying to get the kid to talk more good or better.
As the throw goes out to Streeter, he's got it. Field, he does. 40, 30, all the way down to the Queen City 27, and London calls a timeout with 1:06 left in this half.
Well, speaking of dangling, Streeter lets it all hang out on that one, Colin.
And he just outruns the linebacker before it takes Achilles Frank to finally bring him down.
Frank did have a good angle. I didn't see the early part of that play with him, but he must have known there's a good chance Streeter might be way downfield, and he took off. That's the only way he gets there with a good angle. It's by sensing that right off the bat.
I think Reggie Streeter looked at what Keith Swearingen did the other night for Charleston against San Francisco and said, I can do better.
He certainly set the bar. Streeter's chasing it tonight.
As Roby deep down the field, and there's a one-handed catch by Trevor Farrell. They saved their timeout clock, running under a minute to go. First and goal from the 3. Roby gets him set. Will throw, has to go to the end zone, does! Oh, it's a Farrell, but there were white shirts all around.
There was nobody there. It was a functional grounding. He'll run a play. If nobody's there, I'm just going to throw it in the turf.
Second and goal from 3.
That's one of their favorite formations so far in this game, Colin.
2 tight ends, a balanced line. They'll swing it out to Streeter. Why not? Except he can't beat Avery King, and they have to burn another timeout with 43 seconds left.
Maybe went to that Streeter swing pass well one too many times.
So they now have 1 timeout remaining. Farrell in the backfield with Streeter, and Roby is in the middle.
Don't believe we've seen this formation yet. Maybe something special.
And the throw down the field is caught for a run to touchdown by Elmo, by Shigami Langley. The reserve wide receiver who does a little bit of the toe drag swag back in the end zone.
Well, isn't that special? Right. Oh, his defender left him as he just chugs to the back of the end zone and waits for it.
So it's now a 26-10 game, pending the extra point. Just because they're kicked from the goal line doesn't mean they're automatic every play. Nacho Sicario goes, "Where was I going?" in so many words.
Oh, no. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sorry, buddy. I think you thought, I didn't see who the receiver was in the corner, Colin, but they're going to let that undrafted rookie go, or whoever that was, reserve. Ramble to the back of the end zone. Play the percentages.
Nice observation there by Andy Hamilton in the chat as Sanchez returns it up to the 26. First and 10 from the 26 is the Corsairs.
Yeah, Colin thinks everybody who gives their players a long name are personally out to get him. And
Oh, Coach Curtis breaks it! There he goes, 20, 10 by 4, 3, 2, 1. And Chris Curtis says, "I can do your one better," as he does a little shindig in the end zone. Oh my goodness gracious. And just when they needed him most, he takes a post route down the middle, breaks one tackle of Nathan Blake, and he's off to the races.
Wow. He just runs his post right into the seam. And there's nobody home.
That was a 74-yard touchdown from A.J. Caswell to Chris Curtis. And in one play, they tightened the deficit.
They return the favor.
Back down to 11. And it'll be 10 pending the extra point. So they take the 7-play 81-yard drive by London and respond with 1-play 74-yard drive of their own.
Right. So, ironically, Queen City seems to be minding the gap here in London.
Oh, that good one there, Rick.
Oh, don't tube my jokes, would ya? Oh, I don't want to keep these all underground, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're just gonna keep digging for more.
That's the only subway I know how. Oh, stop
So
me.
at 26 seconds left, Matthews to kick it off. Short kick again, fielded by Maddox, and Maddox will return to the 34. So in London, you were cruising comfortably just a few seconds ago, and now all of a sudden it's back down to 10. I'm assuming the strategy will still be the same, to just hold on to the ball, presumably.
Well, glad everybody likes the dad jokes. To me, they're just jokes.
As the pass from Roby goes down the middle to Donnie Hands, and they're not calling the timeout, they're preserving it. And the clock is running, and back to throw is Roby, and Roby will go to Hands and out of bounds at the 40s. No, they called him out of bounds, and so they'll be...
You have 5 seconds to work with.
Yeah, and the replay booth wants to take a look at this.
It's nice to have R62 back for this season.
Oh, Liam Crowder's response to your joke was absolutely hilarious.
Who's? I don't know all these handles.
He's high flying dwarf. He said, Rick, stop. As the call is actually overturned on the field, so the Knights will have a shorter field to work with. I'm assuming they will still try the field goal attempt. And they will. It'll be a first down kick from 32. Out of the hole, the pass.
For the kicker.
Burning away. And this kick, it's got the distance, but he missed it. It was just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. And that was impressive.
For
They didn't miss it by much.
Non-contract kicker to get it up that far, that was pretty good.
He knew what he had to do. He basically hit that on a rope.
And Corsairs take it over with 1 second left.
Corsairs says we can score from 70 yards out. Scoring from 61 is a piece of cake.
Here's Aswell lines up under center. We'll hand off to Jared Willis, and he gets 3 yards, and that's the end of the first half. London is in front of Queen City, 27-17. Here from Queensway in London, England. Now here is the commissioner, Cameron Irvine, with the halftime report. Take it away, Cameron.
Thanks, Colin and Rick. Back here at the SFL studios where London leads 27-17 at the half. If you missed any action from yesterday, here's the results. Atlanta took out Sioux Falls 43-28. Marcus Dunhill 31 of 41. 407 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Colin Hart, 23 carries, 153 yards, and 4 touchdowns in the loss. Siege Falco, 175 yards through the air, and Blake Chance had 2 interceptions. Chicago holds on to beat Las Vegas 30-23. Chicago led 20-3 before the Fury tied the game up at 20. There was a 27 points combined scored in the fourth quarter of that game. Robert Redford, 177 yards and 2 touchdowns in the loss. Corey Carter, 114 yards and 2 scores in the win. Maurice Spurgeon, 12 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a key fumble recovery late in that ball game. Denver comes back to beat Vancouver 24-20. Legion led 20-3, but outscored 21-3 in the fourth quarter. Tom Pepper, 26 of 31, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. You can't play much better than that. Gerard McChesney, 17 carries, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns, both in the fourth quarter. Schultz, Murray, and Lopez all with picks for Vancouver. Oklahoma City holds on to beat Houston 16-10. 13 rushing yards for the Renegades. They scored 16 unanswered points after trailing 10-0. Tiberius Bovine with 140 yards to the air on 7 grabs. DR Sim had 129 yards and a touchdown. 2 Hall of Famers battling there. Thomasina Rahman with 2 interceptions for the Renegades defense. Finally, in the nightcap, Charleston rolls over San Francisco 47-17. Charleston had 201 yards passing and a whopping 376 yards rushing, 358 coming from Keith Swearingen along with those 4 touchdowns. That's the 5th most rushing yards in an SFL game all time. Johnny Bravo with 2 interceptions for the Predators as Charleston moves to 1-0, scoring the most points of any team this week. Not if London has anything to say about it. They're on pace for 54. Colin Northrup and Rick Northrup have the call from the second half from London. After we wrap up the highlights and the stats from the first half, Knights 27, Corsairs 17. You're watching the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music.
And welcome back to Queensway in London, England. Thank you for that halftime report, Mr. Commissioner. As the kickoff by No Way is going to be returned by Sanchez. So Corsairs, opportunity to dent into the lead a little bit as they open up the third down by 10, 27-17.
First and 10 from the American
as Caswell lines up in the shotgun. He throws deep down the field, and it's intercepted on the first play of the second half. Evan Arthur intercepted it.
There's that pick they've been threatening to have all game, Colin.
And this time he played off of the Stephen Hacker lob route and corrals it for his team. Here's a look at Reggie Streeter's day so far. 14 carries, 112 yards, and a couple of total touchdowns.
Well, one of the adjustments Queen City had to talk about in the locker room is shutting down Streeter.
And here he gets the carry. Here jumps over a man and is put down at the 38.
Okay, next play. We're going to shut down Streeter.
As here we get a look at it again. He's falling Palmer, hops over a man on the ground, just showing great agility.
Indeed.
As
they
come out, same formation again. Staring at a 3-down lineman set. And Streeter to step for a loss of 2 yards.
Queen City did a nice job of mucking up the blockers, and Streeter really had nowhere to go. They know he likes to follow the blockers, at least into the initial part of the contact. He's not able to throw any spin moves at him.
Here's the bunch formation at the top. It's a 2nd down and 12 situation. As Rob Roby takes a quick drop, fires a pass down, and it is complete. To the Corsair 37, that'll be a pickup of 3 to Trevor Farrell.
Another good defensive set right there by Queen City. Back-to-back D plays, bringing up 3rd and long, which is where you want to give yourself. You're going to give yourself an opportunity if you're a D, and they bring everybody on the line. There's only 2 back, Colin.
And press coverage, look out. Here's a free rusher, 2 free rushers, and down goes Roby.
They dial up the pressure on 3rd and long, and it gets home.
And John Setzer, along with number 53, Jeff Duffy. Makes the sack as the punt by Hunter will be forthcoming. He gets a clean place to punt from, and this punt is down. Oh, it's down in the end.
I just took that extra bounce, and didn't much of a chance there. Thought they might get lucky, Colin, but to no avail. So team swap possessions here to start the 3rd, and Queen City's back. No harm, no foul for that interception. And they're looking to narrow the gap.
Here is Caswell, throws, and it's knocked away.
Wow.
That is McDowell.
Once again, solid work by London secondary, Colin.
Here is a 2nd down and 10 situation. 2 tight ends off to the left-hand side for Queen City. Caswell throws once again. This is to Chris Curtis for the 1st down on the slant catch down to 37.
Nice play design as they threw to an inside tight end or inside man on the goal line last time out of that formation. This time they throw to the right side of the formation, but in the same area.
For Curtis, he has 3 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. Here's Caswell back to throw, pumps, hit as he throws, and it's moving around in this time. And pass intended for Matthew Jr., and Nathan Blake just snatched it out of the air after his mates played volleyball with it.
That goes, yeah, hot potato style, and someone's able to corral that. Right, one,
Blake tipped
two.
it first, and then he got it on the final one. So
Wow. Well,
second interception for London off of Queen City.
second in the last couple of minutes.
Here is Roby operating out of an empty shotgun set.
4 wide. Haven't seen this one yet.
Here, he quick throw to James Hands, and Hands has plenty for the first down, picks up about 12 down to the Corsair 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of those clear out plays they're going to throw underneath the coverage, and it's up to Hands to make something happen. And he does.
Tackle made by number 25, Achilles Frank. That's his 4th tackle.
I should say we're calling his name a lot so far, and it's barely into the third quarter.
He and Reigns have 4 tackles. He just streaking down the field. He goes untouched until he gets knocked out of bounds at the 15. He's now up to 149 on the. He just took the simple stretch play, followed his blocker there, number 67, Cliff Baston, and had all the green grass in the world.
Well, they're in the red zone after both teams swapping some possessions here. Queen City looking to press the advantage.
As Roby goes in the end zone, caught for an easy touchdown by Donnie Hand. Oh, man. Hacker burned London earlier on a library. London's like, okay, mate, I'll return you the favor.
Right. Gonna surprise you. Oh, he just gets him behind.
And he blew right past
number 20, Tanner Hendricks, yeah.
Yeah, man, he just blew right past Tanner. And London able to take advantage of it. This time of the Corsair turnover. And the extra point is up and through.
Wow. Well, with that, London officially doubles the Queen City total here. With 7:09 to go in the third quarter, you're watching the SFL on Twitch. Let's see if they can get a little bit deeper kickoff on this. I think we've only seen a couple deep kicks.
Oh, they got it deeper that time, down to the 10. Sanchez will get tackled at the 29.
Well, if Queen City's got some offensive adjustments that might work, now would be a good time.
So Queen City has had 9 drives this game, 38 total plays. And a quarter of those drives, 3 of them have ended in punts. See if they're still efficient on first down. They've averaged 6 yards. Pickup average on first down. Here's the throw out to Curtis. That'll be good for 4. And he's 1 yard away from going over Hundo.
No time to panic yet if you're Queen City, but you do need to focus on being efficient and moving the sticks. Don't get too antsy. First rule, right, Colin? Don't panic.
Exactly. Something I tell my guys. As Caswell over the middle is complete.
Was that a sidearm? What the heck was that? He gets the completion near the line to gain, but it's going to be 3rd and 1.
And pass was complete to Stephen Hacker, who's now up to 89 yards on 4 receptions on 6 targets.
Stephen Hacker Shore. Ate his Wheaties. Germans will get that
3rd and 1. Caswell quick drop. Flares it out to Willis, and Jared Willis has the down. Tackle made by Arthur and Washington.
That Hacker Short joke was brought to you by Unfiltered.
Caswell is up 216 yards, but the 2 picks bringing down the rating a little bit to 78.6. As the throw goes out to Hacker, he had to go back to the ball.
Comes back for it, yeah.
Welcome in my man, Mara Rivers, a.k.a. Cheeseburger, into the chat. Big old number 74. And good to have you here, sir. As Caswell. Oh, almost ripped right Arthur.
There was a pick 6 just laying there.
And Evan Arthur's already had 1 interception. The crossing pattern of Matthew Jr.
All right, who's got with the bangers and mash comment reference in there?
I think it's Rude Dog.
Yeah.
22.
I did not expect to hear about bangers and mash today. Yet here we are.
We have 3rd and 8 situation. Willis split out wide as a wide out with Hacker and Curtis to the same side. At the top of your picture. Here's the throw. Down the field. This time pass intended for the tight end Matthew Jr. And Barner and Matthews again on the hit.
Reggie Rude Dog 22, how's it going? Love it. How about some haggis? We're gonna have some haggis later tonight at the media buffet.
Oh, the kick is nearly blocked, and oh boy.
That turns into a really good play as put him back on the 20, Colin. I guess at this point, all you can really do if you're Queen City is try and give him a long field and see if you can stall him out somewhere along the way. Because you know Streeter's going to get the dang rock. Am I right?
Here's James Hands lined up tight to the line of scrimmage. Here's a throw out to Streeter from Roby. And he say it again about 9 yards close to 10. He has 115 yards receiving. He's London's leading passer.
Sure looked like a 1D to me. 1D. Is that a new thing? Did I just make something up? No. Really? You don't have to shake your head, Colin.
There's Palmer in the backfield here to get to Streeter, and Streeter picks up the first down with these. This is the given forward progress.
There's the 1D.
Streeter up to 151 yards on just 18 carries.
Oh.
This is ridiculous stuff right here.
Well, he's had one really long run and 2 really good chunk plays.
They picked up 26 first downs so far today as London, as Streeter gets another carry, was grabbed by the jersey and then saw a flag fly. So this will most likely be a penalty on Queen City. We'll just have to see who the guilty party is.
Did I mention that Rude Dog 22 is probably my favorite commenter tonight? Just saying.
I got a personal foul face mask on number 26, Morris Gibson. Grabbed it as Streeter was a rumbling on by.
Gave him a little drive-by hand grab there on the face mask. Andy, there's poutines in Canada.
Yeah, you should know. You should know it's just a Canadian thing. You are in Canada. Your team's in Canada.
Yeah, of course, Canada is supposed to be British North America.
As Roby is now up to 273 with 3 passing touchdowns and no picks. He's been able to keep it clean. As T-Roy Gaines goes to Reggie in the chat. He says, "You're Crash Bandicoot. You never get dizzy. That's why you can spin so much." As Streeter gets the carry again, he picks up 2 down to the 34. And I tell you, this is becoming a soul-sucking drive if you're Queen
That's right.
City.
And somebody just asked what is poutine. Well, I'm not even going to comment.
Andy says immediately because the fans wanted to beat him up after the loss to Denver.
No, not Canadian fans are so nice.
And the backup running back for Streeter, number 39, Ray King Ball, picks up the first down on second down. So the backup's getting in some playing time. I want to mention this earlier. Nacho Sicario threw in 350 bits. Thank you, sir. Here's Roby changing the play. Roby down the middle of the field. Passes. Intercepted by number 22 of the Corsairs, Achilles Frank. And this time he got it off of Shigeki, who had one of Roby's touchdown catches earlier.
And that was right to him. I don't know what his problem is. Was that the long name guy?
Yes, that was Shignami Langley.
By the way, Colin wants everybody to have 3-syllable first and last name combined 3-syllable name players.
As
Buck Rogers.
As the throw goes out, it's Jared Willis.
Tommy Gunn.
And he picks up 2. 2nd and 8.
Calvin Klein. George McFly.
Back on the field.
They're crowding the line again. Playing a little game and they back out of it.
Here's the throw out to Hacker.
Hacker makes him pay. Runs a nice route underneath.
3rd and 3.
Hacker Shore. Mr. Weissbier.
All right. And now the guys are starting to get on the 2-name syllable thing.
The Buck Rogers dead.
As we got 3rd and 3, Caswell changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Here's the throw. Oh, out of bounds. I believe Chris Curtis is out of bounds.
Yeah, Andy, you can't. Your girlfriend's pet name for you can't be the name of a player, by the way.
And they're gonna punt. And so the frustrations for the Corsairs continue.
Oh, they're frustrated, as the English would say.
Here's Matthews. Kicks it away. And Arthur returns it up.
Even King Arthur tried the spin move.
Oh, Dad, you let Andy's hopes way too up. As the Knights go with 2 wide receivers to the top, they'll play it out to the fullback, and the fullback is number 49, Fuller.
I just got 4.
Backus.
I got 4 words for Andy Hamilton. Christian Mingle, Match.com. Pick one. Easy as that. Well, look at the how many tight ends can we have in one formation, Colin?
Oh, they have 2, and then the hands to the top of the picture. Here, throw it out to James Hands, and
it's a dart. Throws a dart. Not to Shineki Googie Moogie Langley. Got to throw it to the hand.
Targets for Hands.
Got to throw it to. Well, this game has gotten away from Queen City, and it's in danger of moving even further out.
As we approach the end of the third quarter. London in front of the Queen City Corsairs, 34-17. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch TV is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help secure the bag. ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the SFL, Sector 6 custom esports jerseys and apparel, and the exclusive SFL shop provider, Spigo, dedicated to the craft of audio. Air Shots brought to you by Air Views, United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage.
Some excellent shots of London there. It's a fantastic, extremely interesting city. Glad to be back. Go to the British Museum, by the way.
Here is the handoff to Reggie Streeter, and Streeter will pick up 3 yards. We'll reset some of the numbers for you for the Knights as we get underway. Reggie Streeter has 166 yards and 21 carries. Also 10 catches for 118 yards. Donnie Hans has 4 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. James Hans has also 4 grabs for 66 yards. Trevor Farrell has 2 catches for 27 yards and 6 targets. Here's the gift to Streeter once again, and Reggie will pick up another couple of yards to make it a 3rd and 4 situation.
He's going to close in on 200 here by the end of the game, especially since they're going to want to burn some clock. So he's likely to carry the rock a few more times.
Here's Rob Roby, 3 touchdown passes, over 200 yards, quarterback rating well north of 100. Here's the throw by Roby down the middle. It's intercepted.
Hey!
That is Achilles Frank for the. He returns it to the 26. Pass intended for James Hands. Frank stepped in front of that one. Here is Caswell. We'll swing this out to Jared Willis, and Willis will pick up 9 yards and be knocked out of bounds by Nathan Blake. Oh, I see the sniper. Dad.
It's a good thing Andy and I like each other.
Yeah, you two are friends. Meanwhile, back on the field, we have split backs. Caswell is going to throw once again. He's got Matthews wide open, and it's knocked out of bounds at the Queen City 47.
Pretty sure I'm going to treat the owner of the Vancouver Legion to a cold one when we're down in Atlanta a couple of weeks. So,
right. As Matthews with a nice catch. As far as his rookie debut go, he already has 1 touchdown, but just 29 yards on 5 catches. He's been targeted 12 times. Jared Willis, 19 yards on 8 carries with 5 catches for 25 yards. Extended pro set. Caswell throws it out to Hacker, and with that catch, Stephen Hacker is well over 100 yards as he gets close to 10 yards on the play. Second down and less than a yard. Caswell turns, gives to Willis. and a muscle through William Davidson, the defensive tackle, who's been awfully quiet today, but has been putting in the dirty work for his linebacking mates, Washington and Shady. He makes the stop.
Well, Queen City needs to start scoring here.
Here's the throw, complete to Chris Curtis for 5 yards, and Curtis is now 5 catches, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown with a long of 74 yards.
17 points isn't out of the realm of possibility, but it is 3 scores, and we are at the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter. They do have the ball. They're probably going to need a defensive score along the way.
Here's Caswell, goes to Matthews. It gets to the 25-yard line.
Play selection and time and clock management are crucial, and there's really no room for error at this point if you're Queen City.
Agreed.
Including not blowing a timeout and ideally saving it for that last drive where you would tie or potentially win the game with your 3rd touchdown in a row.
Here's Caswell, play action fake.
Oh!
From Davidson, and down he goes.
Excellent rush by London there, Colin, and they give Queen City exactly what they couldn't afford, which is a negative play with the clock running.
6'3", 270. He is a load for those guys inside the handle. Split backs for the Corsairs. Quick drop. Flare out to Willis, and Jared Willis with a nice catch and run.
And he gets out of
Gets
bounds.
the sack yardage back. Set up 3rd and 10.
Well, the London crowd anxiously awaiting the last 6 minutes of this game, hoping to be able to cheer on London's first victory of the season here in front of the hometown crowd.
As the throw, oh! Chris Curtis for the touchdown. His 2nd. Wow, what a catch. He out-jumped the defender. I believe that was Maddox right there. It went right through his 2 hands. And this game all of a sudden got compelling once again.
Indeed.
As Mar Rivers says, he gave me the ball. And the extra point is blocked.
Oh, no.
It's blocked. Oh, no. Kind of day for Queen City.
Oh, that means they've got to score 2 more touchdowns. They can't get by with a touchdown and a field goal and tie. Unless they go for 2 on a touchdown, which they might if they get another touchdown. First order of business is to stone London. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, you are right.
That short
indeed.
kick won't help the cause.
And a return by Maddox gets him out to the 37. And we got a bit of a bit war going on in the chat as Reggie Streeter just cheered 500.
Woo!
There was a battle going on for 3rd place between Mike Daggs and Andy Hamilton for 3rd place at one point.
Andy got distracted by his girlfriend.
As Reggie Streeter picks up another 2 yards. Tommy Smith with his 2nd tackle. He had the 1 sack earlier. Welcome into the chat, Elijah McCoy. former player.
The real McCoy. Worked for the Michigan Central Railroad. Look that one up.
Here's to get to Streeter once again. Streeter! King brought him down.
In a minute or two, Colin will have to get a check on Streeter's total mileage for the game. He's got to be closing in on 200 at this point.
He's up to 187 right now, and he has 118 on 10 grabs. So,
wow.
Yeah, he's got to be around 200, if not over.
I was just looking at the rushing total. On the ground, not the all-purpose.
Here is the carry.
Is that Streeter? Did he give a couple
Streeter,
back?
He lost one.
Yeah, it's the announcer jinx right there, buddy.
A couple of amazing stats. The Corsairs have had 58 total plays on 12 drives. London on 12 drives has had 63 total plays, but have only gone 3 for 10 on third down. And have gained 32 first downs to Queen City's 22.
Wow.
Down the middle he goes. Complete. Roby's pass to number 82, Trevor Farrell. His longest reception day, and Roby is now at 317 with 3 touchdowns and those 2 interceptions. Let's get another look at it here. This guy came over in the offseason to London and is learning a new position.
You know what else you're looking at here? Speaking of taking another look at it, you're actually looking at the gas pedal as London is stepping on it here late in the fourth.
And they're milking some of this clock.
They're not letting up. They don't want to let Queen City have the ball back too soon, meaning before they score.
Streeter, and Streeter picks up 4 yards.
He dances his way almost to the red zone.
He is now up to 26 carries, and he's 10 yards away from 200 yards rushing.
Was that 190? I think
Yes.
190 on 26 carries.
And Roby, the weak eye formation. Backus trailed by Streeter deep. The one receiver at the bottom is James Hanks. Here's the power play off to the left. Streeter and picks up the first down.
Who was that had him in the backfield, Colin?
I think that was a cornerback, and the poor guy, he went.
Definitely undermanned. Here, we'll get another look at it. Number 25 just kind of spins around it.
That was Pharaoh Reigns. He looked like Don McNeil trying to tackle John Riggins.
It was like a Raggedy Andy there. Grabs him around the waist and doesn't really have any effect. You can see the Knights, Colin, are just focused and trying to put this thing away.
Oh, boy. So Plague 7 cheered 1,500 bits, and Ron Cochran came back with 1,000.
Whoa. It's a bit of war.
As Streeter gets stopped in the line of scrimmage, he's at 186.
They're saying 186, are they? Well, we'll go with that. 14 away from 200. And after this play, we're going to take down to the 2-minute warning, Colin. Assuming it's a running play.
Here is the Streeter. He loses.
A rare tackle for loss, a big loss on Streeter.
And T.R. Gaines goes, I was almost a year old when that reference took place. John Riggins. And we've reached the 2-minute warning here in the Simulation Football League presented by AP on TV. So we got a bit of a bits war going on between Allen, the owner of the Charleston Predators and quarterback of the Alaska Storm, Ron Cochran. And Streeter gets the carry on 3rd and 14. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Queen City calls a timeout. They are down to 2. No way, missed a pretty long field goal last time.
Right. I think they're just trying to see what he could do that last time. Pressed by his leg.
That was a field goal miss. Although he made 2 previously, so he's 2 out of 3. Looking to make 3 out of 4. Good snap, good hold. The kick is right down the middle from 29, and so it's a 37-23 ball game. Jose Noe has been a key supplier of points from the place kicker position.
But takes it back up to a 14-point differential, Colin. So now it's 2 touchdowns for Queen City to gain the tie.
And we've certainly seen their big play capability. They've had the ability to score on
1 or 2 plays,
one
right?
or 2 plays
They've
in
done
the
that.
past.
They've done that a couple of times already in this game, including that 70-some yarder. So it's definitely in the realm of possibility.
But they need to get downfield in a hurry. Let's see if they do that here. And here's Willis.
Trying to get out of bounds.
2 yards out. Here's the throw to Willis, and Willis, time he knocked out of bounds.
First down and out of bounds. That's the way you do it. This is how we do it.
Here is Willis. As we take a look at his stats here. Has more receiving yards than rushing yards, so it tells you the kind of difficulties Queen City has had on the ground. But also is representative of the fact they've been behind by as many as 2 scores through a large portion of the game. Pass complete to Matthew Jr. and
kind of stumbles and rumbles. Does get out of bounds. Too bad he couldn't try and get over the line to gain there. But it'll stop the clock.
And coming up next on Twitch.tv, we have the Tulsa Desperados taking on the Seattle Tyrants in their debut regular season contest.
Oh, the Tyrants, yeah. Can't wait to see that one.
Here is Caswell, throws it out to Willis, and Willis doesn't get out of bounds, but the drive continues.
Yeah, by the way, I'm a big fan of the tyrannical Lizard Kings.
Here is the throw to Matthew. They have the 2 timeouts, but strangely they're not using. Caswell, quick, throws it out to the fullback, who gets out of bounds with 50 seconds left after he picks up 3 yards. And thanks to that latest barrage, Caswell is now up to 340 yards passing.
Is that right? Nice.
2nd and 7 from the American 37 yard.
Here's Caswell back to throw. Sets it out to Curtis, who gets out of bounds at the London. This is good work for the Corsairs, but it might be too little too late.
It may be. The touchdown onside kick combo that they're looking at right now.
Got to go for one of those routes over the top. Take the top off the defense. Both these cats.
London maybe sending an extra man. They don't.
Hacker gets out of bounds with 41 seconds.
It's too bad that wasn't a first down because you'd want to take a shot right here.
Cameron Irvine says teams should kill for this 2-minute offense, and he's right. We've seen it done very inefficiently. That's inefficient right there. Team Maddox is going to return this for a pick six all the way back. Touchdown Knights.
Oh, boom.
And he moons the opposition in celebration.
Did not, did he really?
Whoa.
Wow.
He jumped the route.
He sure did. He knew he had help over the top. He could take that chance. He looks over to the sideline and says, "Get my oxygen ready. I haven't run this hard in a while."
I think he looked a little less winded than James Harrison did in Super Bowl 43.
Right, that's for sure. I'm going to score this thing, then collapse.
Oh, no. Cam.
What?
Commented that he did a commentator's curse and he wasn't even calling the game. It's now a 44-23 game with 27 seconds left. It's all over but the cry.
Well, the Corsairs just slowly, ever so slowly, fell behind and just couldn't catch up. And that's not generally what I'm used to from Queen City. Typically very competitive in the fourth quarter. If they're not winning, still competitive, but
return goes up to the 24.
Tip of the Beefeater cap to the London Knights.
As an update on the Bits battle, Flag 7 now leads by 500 over Ron Cochran. Oh, but Ron Cochran just cheered 500 to tie up for first place. Caswell pump fakes going on down the field, and it is knocked away by the reserve cornerback Tony Adamson. As the second teamers are getting in a little bit of time for London as this battle continues in the chat. Second and 10, 19 seconds left. Corsairs down by a bundle. Going down the field on a post route. Oh! It's pass intended for Sanchez. McDonald on the deflection. Hunter Jones with a really good point. As throw knocked away from Matthew Jr. It's just been that kind of day for Queen City. Adamson knocks it away. We have a 4th and 10 from there in 24, 9 seconds left. Crowd takes up a chant of defense. Blitz being shown by London. They back out. Caswell to Matthews. That's not going to do it. He's knocked out of bounds by number 55.
Still 5 ticks on the
Malcolm
clock.
Tucker. Hey, welcome in AJ Pick 6. And probably going to get a couple of kneel downs here. And there is the pass, the backup quarterback. Coming in for one of the Swedish jobs in football, the victory formation kneel down. They call timeout with 3 seconds left. Do they dare call another timeout on this play? There's only 3 seconds left.
And this will do. Oh, no. There's wait, timeout left.
Queen City did. He had a timeout left.
Right. Okay. In the pantheon of pointless gestures, that one might be a new addition. Look up Pantheon. Yeah, heathens.
And that's all over. Final score, London 44, Queen City 23. Rick, this was an entertaining game, to say the very least.
It was entertaining. It's, you know, like I said, I've been commenting how Queen City just sort of slowly got ground down. They put points on the board. Their offense worked. They got stops on defense, but London was just a better team tonight, Colin.
London over 500 total yards of offense. They got close to 190 yards rushing.
Yeah, Liam and the boys there, you know, potentially a little scary. We'll see. You know, the tale will yet to be told, but this was a really good game by them. Solid game. Very impressed.
Jose Noe, 3 of 4. Gene Maddox, 83 return yards. Reggie Streeter, 122 yards as a running back, leading receiver for London.
That was a sweet tip right there.
Gunnar Bear saying he's topping 300 all-purpose yards. He's most likely to play in the game.
Streeter?
Yes.
Yeah. Hard to make a, you know, say he is, make a case for someone else, right? At this point. I'm not sure you can make a stronger case. There's a lot of good cases.
Caswell did finish with more passing yards. He ended with 364.
That right there.
Including that beautiful touchdown to Chris Curtis. People in the chat going, play of the week.
We'll see.
We're going to see what it is in probably just a minute here. As we get a look at the Dean Maddox pick 6.
And
it's Reggie Streeter.
185 yards on the ground, 122 yards receiving.
Touchdowns, 29 carries, well-deserved, missed a street top.
And definitely passes the optics test, right? When he had the ball, stuff was happening.
Well, for those of us at the Simulation Football League, on behalf of Commissioner Cameron Irvine, I'm Colin Northup. He's Rick Northup. Thanks, Charles Doherty, for being on stats. Good night, everybody. Tulsa, Seattle is next.